Mr. Chairman, I noticed that my colleague from Texas abandoned his post, knowing that I have the microphone next. I just want to emphasize something, Mr. Jenkins, that you mentioned, and we've had this discussion. You've had this discussion. Mr. Cisneros brought it up. The Army Special Forces Green Berets are named after a hat, and the SEALs are named after how we go to work, right? Sea, air, and land. Those are the methods of infiltration for us to accomplish a mission. And when general purpose forces cut these platforms, we simply can't go to work. And it would be interesting to know, what is your coordination process with general purpose forces when they're speaking about cutting these platforms? I mean, is there a formalized process, sir?
There are different, and thank you for calling that out, because that is very much right in our bailiwick where we need to defend our equities. There are different processes, DMAGs, RMAGs, where we are able to sit with our services, with other representatives from Comptroller and the Deputy's office, where proposals can be put forward, and we can battle back, we can defend or help.
In the spirit of bipartisanship, bring up Mr. Cisneros' point. When you sit at the table, I mean, are you at the kid table at Thanksgiving, or are you like sitting with everybody and you're pulling your weight? Meaning, does your assessment have value in these scenarios when we're speaking about cutting, multi-billion-dollar, multi-year platforms?
We certainly have to. It's a constant struggle to make sure that our elbows stay sharp.
Okay.
But we are for example, just last week I was sitting 2 chairs down from the deputy briefing our budget, our soft budget,
okay,
and had the full room to our attention and support. So but to your point, it's a constant struggle. It's a different culture to think of SOF.
Oh, I know.
As a service. So that's why we appreciate Congress's support, so that we are there.
Very well, thank you. And I'm sorry, I'm remiss for not recognizing the Master Chief and CSM here. Thanks for coming here, boys. It's good to see you. Less than 2% of the DoD budget is spent on SOF operations, correct? Everyone here, I think everyone at least over here, has done joint combined exercise for training. Sometimes we would call that training tomorrow's enemies today, and we have a proven track record of training people that we should not. Everything from the School of Americas in the 70s, and we trained the Taliban, armed them, equipped them, did all this stuff. We've created our own enemies. And so I'm wondering what percentage of the SOF budget is used for the JSET programs?
Well, I don't know that specific number off the top of my head, but we can get back to you on
I would appreciate that tremendously. And then along with that, so I have 2 tasks for you, 2 bits of homework, because you're not going to know the answer to this one either. I'm not impugning your knowledge. I'm just saying this is kind of a detailed question. So I'd like to know what percentage of the SOF budget is used for JSETs. I also would like to know what percentage of the SOF budget is used for the soft skills that are on Smoke Bomb Hill when we're talking about nation building stuff. I understand you're going to cut some of your PSYOPs, guys. I agree with that completely. So if you could get it, on a piece of paper and tell us how much of our budget SOF budget is being expended for the soft skills for nation building, which we have done horribly across the world since Vietnam, honestly, and then what percentage specifically for JSETs? That would be awesome.
Will do. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. General Fenton, you understand that your component commanders start with a operational and O&M deficit every year, right?
I do, sir.
And so our guys are filling out UFER's unfunded requests on the regular just to be able to do their job.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's what I'd like from you, sir. What I would like is, by component commander, what is the delta between what they're given every year and then the total of the UFERs on average, let's say a 5-year average, so that we, under this chairman's leadership, can hopefully plus up all the O&M budgets for our Special Operations Forces component commands.
Will do.
Give us real numbers.
Yes, you'll get real numbers, and Representative, if I might, so taken for action. Just on JSETs, I think on one side of the coin,
Yep.
you know those also, there's many of our teammates, and not building nations, but those JSETs go against building high-end Tier 1 forces in a lot of those countries that have stayed with
General
us for
Fenton,
quite
I'm the
some time.
longest-serving enlisted member of the United States military to ever be elected to Congress, and I also have the most years as a Special Operations Forces operative of any member of Congress in the history of the country. I know exactly what the hell I'm talking about, sir.
Roger that, Representative. I just add that many of those have then become security exporters. So I think if we pegged out a track record, and I probably owe you that, on where those have not just been nation building and somehow turned enemy, but have gone on to burden share, to burden own, to lead. And I think those are great stories, and I could talk about them in close that we ought not to forget about.
Thank you, General. I appreciate it. I yield back, sir.
Thanks, Representative.
Mr. Harrigan, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.